Welcome back to the show where we run you through all the Dolphins news you need to know about. After you through the news you need to know about, we run you through the fan Q&A, we answer fans' questions. Very frustrating season. We're gonna get into everything, but it's insane how this season has went. There's still a lot of football left to be played, and definitely the team looked a lot better than it has. I mean, this is the best the team, especially on the offense side of the ball, has looked. So at least there's that, I guess. The community's reaction to this season is like insane to me. So let's get into the news you need to know about. This first news story comes from Pro Football Rumors. Jevon Holland's status is uncertain. Obviously, you guys know he suffered another injury against the Arizona Cardinals, which was kind of a huge hit in the game because we really couldn't match up well with their tight ends. I wish we would have played Marcus May on their tight ends a little bit more than we did. That would have probably helped a little bit. I don't know why they were like, let's just put Jordan Poyer on him. That was confusing, but it would have been nice to have Holland for that matchup. So he's missed because we're a lot better in man coverage. And honestly, we're a better zone coverage team too. We're just better in coverage when he's out there, obviously. So, a really unfortunate 2 seasons for Jevon. Ever since the interception against the Jets. Maybe that's... I don't know if he ended up getting hurt after that, or it was before that. I think it might have been him coming off the injury. I don't remember. But he's been hurt a lot lately, even dating back to last year. I hope, there's been some trade rumors with him. I hope he doesn't get traded. He's a really good player. I think he's a cornerstone piece. He's had the worst luck, as talented as he is, when it comes to just being put in a system for a while, being able to thrive in that system and get acclimated to it. It would just be nice if and I hope we keep him around. I feel like he's too good and too young to get rid of. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to do that. I really don't. I don't think they're going to trade him. As for other news, there's really not that much news. I guess we can talk about this. Well, I mean, it's not really important. Odell Beckham said something about him. I don't remember. Who knows? Who cares? Not really that relevant to anything. That's really it. I mean, in terms of like injuries and stuff of that nature. But I guess we can get into this game and some of the issues that I think a lot of people are having with the team, and we can actually just start with Odell Beckham. We'll start with Odell. He's been... I would have to go back and look. I've only watched the game live when it was going on. I have not went back and watched anything. It's honestly too frustrating to do that, and super annoying and sad in a lot of ways because of how high our expectations were for this team and where we thought that they would be. But I don't know if Odell was wide open or not. I really don't know. I can tell you from the other 2 games that he's played in, he didn't look very good. He definitely looked better in this game just from like the first glance of everything. That's for sure. And I really hoped... I mean, everybody's looked bad since Tua has been hurt, so it's not necessarily Odell Beckham's fault. But, yeah, I don't really know if there's any... Like, who knows? I don't know. So hopefully he can be involved in the game plan more, and we can. I'm honestly, I think that was a case of just the football can't go everywhere. I will say there was one play where I was like, why didn't we run that with Odell? And that was the fade route to Tyreek Hill. I don't remember what down it was in particular. It was right before half, I believe, on that drive, which would have been a huge touchdown drive there, and we ended up having to sell for 3. But we ran a fade to Tyreek. First of all, we got to stop doing that. I think the only time it's ever worked was against the Chargers, and that was last year. Every other time, Tyreek's either dropped it or it's just too tight of coverage to make a throw on it. So why we continue to do it with him, I don't know, especially when we have a player like Odell Beckham on the team who is made his entire career on plays like that, especially in the red zone. So I don't really know what that was about. I thought that was kind of a dumb decision. So yeah, I don't know why we didn't use him there. But that would have been, if we're going to call a fade route, probably should use Odell Beckham. But other than that, yeah, I mean, I really have nothing else to say about the whole Odell thing. I really hope that he becomes more involved in the game plan. But the possession plays and I thought the game plan was great. I thought the play calling was great, despite what everybody else thinks. I had no problem with it. There were plays. I felt like even the 3rd and 12, which ended up, we got to play better defense, but that was like the one time we got stopped, or one of the few times that we got stopped in the game, and that was the last drive that we had in the game. That 3rd and 12 screen call, if that ball is completed to A-Chain, that's a first down. That was actually a good call against that blitz. I thought we did a lot of creative things, even on the Devon A-Chain touchdown. Jonnu Smith, he's done a great job of getting him more involved into the game plan. We're actually seeing the fruits of that now that everybody raved about that in training camp and with all the beat writers, and we finally seeing it on Sundays, which is great. Jonnu Smith might even had on the Jalen Waddle drop, Jonnu Smith was wide open on an over route. He made a bunch of big plays in this game. So it's nice to see him coming along. It seems like him and Tua are really nice. They have a nice chemistry going with some of the anticipation that's going on there, which is great. So offensively, we're trending in the right direction. Offensive line, as long as Armstead's healthy, is really pretty rock solid. I thought Brewer had a really good game. I think the snap might have been partially his fault. It wasn't necessarily high. It might have been a little bit too fast, or Tua didn't want it at that moment. But I thought it's weird that we have these snap issues every year. And I swear to God, we're cursed. Or I don't want to say we're cursed because we have a lot of games to go. But we just had bad luck in this game with the bad snap. We're up 10 with ball. And they haven't stopped us the entire game. It's 20-10 at that point. That completely shifted the game. When they got that safety, they took advantage of it and capitalized on it. So yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. It's just bad luck like that. We can't have anything. We get a stop. We get momentum on our side. We play complimentary football, and then a snap goes over, not over to his head, but for whatever happened with it. I love how they called him for an illegal bat, and he didn't even. They should have said illegal bat attempt. He didn't even touch the football. But what else was I gonna say about the offense? There's no negative. Mike has done a great job with what he's been given. Like, I don't even think there's nothing I would say that I was upset about other than the Odell Beckham thing. It's like, if we're going to throw fade routes, then put Odell Beckham over there. But other than that, I don't have any issues at all. Maybe I don't know, honestly. I don't really have any problems with the game plan. Trying to think of anything, really. I mean, this is a universal NFL problem, but if you're up 2 points or it's an uneven score and 3 points wins the game, and you haven't been playing phenomenal defense the entire time, I'm of the mind, don't start running the football until you're in field goal range. That way you can at least secure the fact that you're not going to lose by 3 or by a field goal, which is easy to get a field goal to win a game. So maybe if Mike could do a do-over, if I was there, I'd be like, let's push it. Their corners aren't very good. Tua's having a really good game. Let's just go ahead and win the game with him. Instead, we kind of did some RPO stuff. It wasn't very aggressive. I would have liked to have been a little bit more aggressive there, but that's just, I feel like that's everybody does that in the NFL, where they kind of stick with their offense and they don't really have up-tempo in those moments. But I feel like that's just an NFL thing. Yeah, and it sucks that ball wasn't completed on 3rd and 12 because it was such a good call. But again, just bad luck. I mean, just even Jalen Waddle dropping a pass in this game, which would have been, I don't remember if, dude, my brain's been so foggy lately. I don't remember what drive that was or if we got points off of it. I just remember the Waddle drop and Jonnu Smith being wide open. I think we ended up getting a that might have been on a touchdown drive. I'm not sure. Or maybe we settled for 3 there. I'm not sure at all. That could have been on the Raheem Mostert rushing touchdown. I'm not entirely sure. Julian Hill's on my nerves, by the way. Just the vent. Julian Hill this dude's got a walking touchdown and fumbles the football. So yeah, offensively, no issues. I don't think have any problem. One thing I want to say though is Devon Achane. He doesn't play hard all the time. God bless him. I feel like he doesn't hit holes as hard. Like, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just insane. But I swear, like, sometimes, and I like that he falls down. I'm not complaining about that at all. I wish he would fall down all the time. If he can't, push the envelope. But I'm not saying he's like not doing it, because he does. I mean, even the big play that he had in this game on the running play, that's a great example of it. I just don't think which I guess he has to pace himself. He's not the biggest guy in the world. But some plays I'm like, man, I wish we had Jalen right in there, because I feel like he would have hit it a little harder, and maybe we would have gotten more yards out of it. But I think that's just like a little nitpick. There's nothing. Honestly, we'll talk about the defense, because I feel like this is where game plan stuff was weird. Defensively in this game, we were hurt so bad, and I was dreading going into this game, because I was like, we don't have anybody on the D-line. They're all hurt. Zach Sealer, who's been a godsend this year for pass rushing, and has been a big reason why we've been so high in third down. And I know we don't have a ton of sacks. Most of them he's gotten, by the way. But he matters for pressures and stuff like that. And he helps. And even in the run game, he helps a lot. And we were already having some issues with that. I feel like we've done a lot better with that. But with him out, it was just going to be a tough ask. Pass rush, run defense. So all that stuff is what it is, because we're so hurt. But the game plan was weird. I liked that we moved Ramsey around to blitz him and to kind of cause havoc in the run game. That was cool. I liked that. But in crucial situations, why we had Cam Smith on Marvin Harrison is beyond me. We have Kendall Fuller on this team too, who I would trust a whole lot more than Cam Smith. He has barely played at all in his career. Literally at all. And this is his first game back this season. He's not even had a proper rookie season of games. And they're just like, go get him. And is it a coincidence that now granted, Jalen did give up a receiving touchdown, but the two big plays that really lost us the game were on Cam Smith. So I don't really know. That really frustrated me. Don't know why that was the case. Don't know why that they did that. If you don't want to put Ramsey on him, then put Kendall Fuller on him. That was really confusing. We had a real hard time in zone coverage in this game. They did a good job of flooding our zones with some flat routes, and McBride went off, and even in man coverage, we struggled to guard him. And I really wish we would have figured something else out there. We also, I'm not going to lie, Kyler made some crazy plays in this game from throwing the ball. I hate the way he throws the football under pressure. It's like he's just blindly throwing it up. And Marvin Harrison came down with it. So there was a couple plays like that where we just couldn't and obviously, we're not going to get Kyler Murray down all the time. We did get some pressures. There was a couple plays where Chop Robinson got hold. I think a lot of Dolphins fans saw that. I loved the way we moved Chop around to get him and his athletic ability to get after Kyler Murray. So there was cool stuff we did defensively, but that was a head scratching. The biggest head scratcher of the game is like, why isn't our best players on their best players when the game matters? That should, full stop. That's what should happen. Not some player who's extremely unexperienced and hasn't really done anything in the NFL. Or has literally done nothing in the NFL. That was really annoying. It's like, oh, great. I'm glad that's what happened. I feel like it's just a slap in the face that Elijah Higgins basically had a couple catches on us. Almost had a touchdown. They really didn't run the football at all in this game. Like I said, our run defense has been, even without Zach Sealer. I think the reason I'm saying that is because the two big plays on the final drive were runs. So it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But they only averaged 2 yards a carry, and James Conner only finished with 53, and Kyler Murray only finished with 19 on 5 rushes, which is pretty impressive. So they did good things from a game plan perspective, and I still think Anthony Weaver is a great coach. But I just don't feel like we had enough horses on the front when it came to those crucial third downs and taking advantage of stuff. We just didn't have enough playmaking there, and that really showed in the game. And that just has to do with, obviously, injuries and Chop. who had one of his best games of his. I think he's getting better. I'm not saying, Chop's young though. So that I'm not saying that Chop's not going to develop into something, because I still think he, especially if we can retain Anthony Weaver, that development I think we're gonna end up liking where he ends up. But yeah, like I said, we just didn't have enough playmaking defensively on the front, and that was really dumb. That putting Cam Smith on Marvin Harrison in crucial situations. One last thing I would say is Tua looked great. It shows you how great of a quarterback he is, and how much different the offense looked, and the operation of it, him throwing from the pocket. He made so many great reads and throws and under pressure. He was phenomenal. I really don't like throwing RPOs in crucial situations. Like, I wish that we would have, and I guess you could criticize Mike for that. We honestly though, I'm not gonna lie, even though I didn't love it, we were killing them with the RPOs early in the game. So I'm not gonna sit here and say there was no reason to do it. We were shredding them with it. So I'm not gonna sit here and say whatever. I wish we would do more traditional plays, because I think Tua is that great of a quarterback, especially against a secondary that's not great, and they don't have a good front seven either. So I kind of wish we would have done. And dude, if Budda Baker didn't exist, we would have even had more points in this game. He made some crazy plays in this game on tackles. But what was I going to say? Yeah, Tua looked great. It shows you why he's a great quarterback. Whose fault is it? I cannot believe people are calling for Mike's job. I think that's insane. I really think that's insane on so many levels, and stupid, especially with all the injuries. Like, I don't know if people just haven't watched the games, and they're like, oh, we should have just beat this team, we should have beat that team. They're doing the best that they can with what they've been dealt with, or what they've been dealt. And dude, like, it's crazy we should have beat the Colts, considering everything that was going against us, and then we fumbled the game away. This game, we just didn't have enough up front to make plays when we needed to. Yeah. And Tua in the offense, that was not the problem. And his play design is still really good. It really is. And it manufactures touchdowns. Like the one to Devon Achane's a great example of that. Some of the red zone calls were really, really well designed. Some of the screen calls he had in this game were really pretty. So I don't have any problems with Mike. I think he's still a really, really good head coach. We are really well prepared, I think, offensively, especially when Tua is playing. There have been a few times in his coaching career, the Thursday night game against Buffalo. By the way, I would love to kill whoever who put that game on Thursday Night Football early in the year. We really appreciate that. But that was one of the only games where I'm like, that game plan sucked. That's that game, and I don't think really any other games that was definitely the worst. Yeah. But everything else, like, I don't know. He's one of the best head coaches we've had in a very long time. And he gave us an offense that we haven't seen since literally 1995. So I'm going to give him, and if he was messing up and he was bad, I would say it. I have no problem saying that at all. But yeah, it's just been a lot of bad luck with injuries and plays in games. And it sucks, dude. Like, it really does, but I don't think it's a coaching issue. Malik Washington looked good in this game. I don't think there's really... The question is like, there's 10 games left in the season. What's going to happen? And we're a good football team. I just don't know, like, the front seven worries me when it comes to rushing the passer, when it comes to mobile quarterbacks, because you need players to make plays in those situations. And it does compromise your defense because you have to blitz more. And I thought Anthony did a good job, especially since Kyler does struggle. He struggles from the pocket against the blitz. He has to contain. He doesn't really ever throw on time against stuff looks like that. And there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league that are like that. But, we have to just make those plays when they're there. Like Jalen Ramsey has to make that play. Or, so that kind of worries me going forward a little bit. I hope we can obviously we're not getting Jalen Phillips back. So who knows when Bradley Chubb's coming back. But hopefully Zach Sealer can play against Buffalo. I doubt it because his face is broken. But maybe he can. I don't know. that's what worries me the last 10 games the most is like, are we gonna have enough playmaking up front to maintain that top of the line third down defense, because we're gonna need it. Because now that the offense is back, the defense is it's life as a Dolphins fan. But yeah, I mean it's still the thing that sucks is like even watching them, like, yeah, dude, we have a really good team, like we really do, and I don't think this team is bad by any stretch of the imagination. They're still really fun to watch, especially when Tua's playing. And yeah, I'm excited about it. I think the thing that, like I said, I would say offensive line health is another thing. We just got to stay healthy up front to make a run at this. And which, by the way, I'm really, and I think we all are pretty excited. I mean, the run game has been way better. We've been over 100 yards, well over 100 yards rushing the last 3 games. So there's a lot of things that are trending in the right direction. So I'm excited about the last 10 games, even though the season's been terrible. Maybe we can make a run at the last wild card spot. And at least we can play better football the last 10 games and enjoy this football team with the core that we have, because this offense is still really fun to watch. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I am actually optimistic about the last games. I think we've got a good coaching staff, and I think we have a good football team. Hopefully the injuries won't be too much on Diddy, and we can get a little bit healthier on defense. We still have a good secondary. Maybe Chop Robinson can kind of hit a stride here. Just make a couple plays a game, especially in the second half. If we can keep it close against Buffalo, we really just need like 2 plays in the fourth quarter, or 1 play. Sack them, stack some momentum in the second half. Score, stop them, make something happen. Just a couple plays like that. And really most excited before I can get off here. Most excited to see what Mike does coming off a terrible game plan. And our football team has changed a lot offensively. We've taken a lot of the stuff that hasn't worked for us and this team out of the playbook altogether. We've really molded this run game. It's completely different than before. With the emergence of Jonnu Smith and Odell Beckham coming back healthy, this team's different than what it was on Thursday Night Football, especially offensively. And we did move the ball against them. We just couldn't finish drives, and there was too many turnovers. And we played good defense for the most part in that game. So I'm excited for this game. Hopefully Javon Holland can come back. And I'm excited to see what Mike's game plan is going to be. And I'm excited. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.